What are some of the solutions our communities need? If you can come up with a couple of solutions, what do you think?
To what problem?
Any problem you could think of that you think, any problem. Like for me, literacy, man. We can have a building of kids who just can come sit down and be still and just read because the scores are so bad with literacy, nationwide actually. But I think kids when they get out of school now, man, they so moving around so much, they kind of just left to their own imaginations. I think if we could have something like that to really get them back into understanding why you need literacy at a foundational level anyway, and then really to just get them back on par. You know what I'm saying? But that's just one of mine though. But
and it's just, I mean, I understand that, you know what I mean, but I think the whole system is messed up. They're just training you not to learn, to not to be curious, to not. You don't need to read to comprehend. You just need to read well enough to do a job, and then you get a job. You know what I mean. If you can't get a job, you go to jail, and then you just like it's like the cattle thing. You know what I mean. They're sorting you out to different things. It's hard for parents to spend time with their kids because we got an 8 hour workday and
mm-hmm.
and they got to go to school and they get
Mm-hmm.
out of school before the parents get out of work and things like that. So I think after school programs and things like that are really good. I just think we need to look at a model, an example that works. I think in those northern countries, Norway, Finland, they got their schools scores are really high on literacy and things like that. Hey, we should like say, hey, what we're doing, what we've been doing for the last 100, 200, 300 years, is not working.
Mm.
We're not
But you got to think
having
if
done
you in
with
a.
kids. We need to overhaul the whole school system.
So do you think it's the school, or you think it's what they doing when they get out of school?
Both.
I think it's the whole school system. We're doing things like, okay, you're saying the school system works because
No, no, no,
70%.
no, no.
No, no, no,
What,
no. You're
go ahead.
saying the school system works because 70% of the people maybe get out of high school and then they can't go on. Then only a 10 or 20% of that goes on to higher education. It's the structure of the things. Some people get it, some people don't. It's a bad structure.
Yeah, and
No,
that's what I was going to allude to. I was like, man, you got the whole structure system. It got to be broken down and started back over because evidently, whatever was working, it's not working now. Like we on a different program now. Like
I don't know. I think.
We on Windows 98. And
Nah.
these kids, they were like, "What is Windows?"
I think
Yeah,
there
guess
are.
what? I mean, you
I
got to
think there are kids that's getting a
like
lot of opportunity now. They just don't want. They just don't want to do it. They, I
no,
don't know
but
from.
the opportunities, but the school still works the same. Tech,
Mhm.
we went to school, we
You
had
making my
eight tracks.
point.
We
You're actually
went
making my point.
we went to school that had eight tracks, right? And now we had CDs and stuff like that. Now we don't even use CDs, cassettes. The technology has changed so much. It's a
Mhm.
computer in everybody's hands, but the education system has not changed.
But what I'm saying is, what do the
That's not a
kid do
kid
at
fault.
home? I'm saying, what do the kid do at home when they get out of school? That's what I'm saying. Cause do you got to learn at home too? Do you supposed to learn at home too? Yes or no?
Yeah,
Man,
you're
we didn't learn at
adults.
home.
No,
We
adults are supposed to teach their
didn't learn
adults.
at
Cause it
home.
sounds like y'all saying parents should just depend on the school to
Yes.
teach their kids. That's what it
Mm-mm.
No,
sounds
no, no,
like.
no. We're saying the system is broken. We can get through it. Let's say it's a minefield. It's got barbed wire and landmines out there, but I can teach my kid to navigate through those landmines and be a productive
Cause
member
I
of
just,
society. I
I
can do
just,
that,
I just seen a
and that's what
video
we're saying.
of a kid fighting the teacher over the cell because the teacher had a
But
cell
we're not
phone.
talking about them. We're
That's
not talking about those kids. We're talking about the kids that want to learn and things like that. That's totally different. That's a behavioral problem. That's a mental, like, that's not the parent sitting down with them reading. No matter how smart a kid is, if they're making, like, this kid
that's
can
what
read.
the problem is.
This kid makes all A's. This kid can read at a college level.
Yeah.
If they got a bad attitude and they want to hit a teacher, that has nothing to do with their child's literacy. This child is making bad life choices. You know what I mean? That child is violent.
But I
That
think as
child
a
has,
whole, it's a lot of kids making bad life choices. They're not caring about education, from what I'm seeing.
but
So,
like
but those are two different things. That's
But
education.
it's being mixed in the same pot. That's what I'm trying to
but
tell you.
Yes,
what I
but
want what I
but you don't
want
have a
people to
solution
understand.
for that.
Yeah,
You
what
have
I
a
That's
really
what I
solution for
just
the
it's
said.
not
no, no, no. You
It-
had a
listen,
solution for literacy
it's not
and
just
not
about the
behavior.
But what I
kids.
said is teach them how to be still. When they
You
get
can't
home, they're not being
man, you
Are
can't
still.
you crazy? With the amount of people who have ADD, have all these newly diagnosed things that they just discovered in the last 50 to 100 years. People are on the spectrum. They
but guess
cannot
what?
sit down like that. Their
And guess
brains
what?
don't work the same. And you're saying, hey, just sit them down and be quiet and being
Uh-uh.
able to be smarter.
And that's what I'm gonna say. That's when you have that's why parents gotta learn how to use that to them kids' advantage. Like when a kid can't sit down like that, okay, let me figure out what can I what can I do or what can I put them in or do something to like damn. Like
But
when
if you
we
don't got the money, you can't do it. It
man,
costs.
So no, and that's another thing. The system. Let's go. You're saying basically the system. It takes money to even teach your kid. You just said it takes money to teach your kid how to read. You know what I mean? If you don't have the money because you got to go to work, you don't have the time because you got to make the money to feed the kid. So you don't have the time to teach the kid. So you got to eat food or knowledge. You know what I mean? And when you're in a poverty situation, you got to make choices like that.
Yeah.
Um, it's the system thing again.
Mhm.
Hmm.
You gotta destroy the whole system and figure out you got to figure out like certain parts. Okay, this can work. This can work. Nah, that ain't gonna work because it's gonna be the same repetitive
And
thing.
guess what? If you win a lottery and you got a kid without a mental defect, a behavioral defect, your kid can listen, sit, read, and sit still for 10 minutes. Guess what? You just won the lottery of kids. You know what I mean? A lot of kids can't sit down.
I don't know.
A lot of kids have learning disabilities they don't even know about. Uh, Dyslexia, and you got to get them diagnosed for that. Now, if your kid doesn't have dyslexia, your kid is not hyperactive, ADD, go thank God tonight that
I
your
don't know.
child doesn't have a
I think
mental
if these
problem.
kids can sit
Projecting.
down and learn for social media,
It,
Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that, I think they can sit down and read
it
too,
wasn't
But
man.
even.
see,
It,
guess what? That's old school thinking. You don't
Okay,
understand
that's fine.
how the human mind works. So, a person that has ADD, their mind is really quick. Their attention span is real quick. TikTok and social media is very quick.
mhm.
It multitasks their brain. It really reaches them on their level of thinking. They think that fast. Kids think that fast, and you're teaching them at a very slow rate.
Yeah, and
And it doesn't keep their attention. And you're saying, hey, your
yeah.
brain works really fast. Sit
Mm.
down.
You know what my teachers taught me in I think it was like second third grade. I had the behavior issues like everybody else. You know what they did? They took me and put me in a junior high class. Shit, I couldn't do nothing but sit still and learn. Cause everything that they was teaching me, shit, I about already knew anyway.
And that's a
And that's
problem as well.
and it,
Um,
I just don't even
that
have
Probably
the energy.
especially
If I had the energy,
now.
I'd go there. I just don't have the energy.
I know it's
I know, huh?
like
Well, because you think it's a thing. Hey, if these kids will sit down and be quiet and read like a slave, if you would sit down and play your role and do your role,
Why
hey,
is reading like slave? Why is learning how to read like a slave?
no,
That's
it's
weird.
not.
we're not.
No,
You're talking about the way you're wanting to teach them. You're
So
telling them
teaching them how to be still is a bad thing. Teaching them how to be still and learn is a
if
bad
they
thing.
cannot, if that's something, there's so much new information out
Like I
now
say,
about
I can't even. I can't even like when I be sitting in meetings. I can't sit still. Like what's already
but how do you
processed.
teach yourself something new though
Like
at 40? But you can't teach yourself how to be still. How do you teach yourself something new when
I
it comes
can't
along?
sit still. I can't sit still. It like
I mean, I
after
know I had ADD before, but my mom trained me to sit still. But
no.
that's a whole nother
I'm
story.
that's what
But
I'm saying.
no,
Like
yeah,
no, but there's different levels.
She
You
added
know,
that to my game. She added that to my game with that leather strap.
Yeah,
But man, I
you
got to get
know,
off.
there's different levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And guess what? You can train a dog to do a certain thing. You can train a cat to use the bathroom in the toilet if you have enough motivation or abuse in that cat. If that cat want to stop getting shot, it'll do the right thing. It'll figure it out.
I don't know. I think kids, if you teach them how to read and give them that
Because
kind
you're
of
not
skill,
qualified or you're not
that's
even
fine.
open-minded
That's
enough,
totally fine.
because you don't even
That's fine.
to some extent you don't believe in mental illness.
I'm not saying that.
No, I mean,
I said I think you can overcome mental illness. I never said I don't believe me. I said you can overcome mental illness.
and
I
that's
never said I
crazy.
don't believe.
And that is absolutely bananas.
Through God, all things are possible. I'm ending on that, guys. Y'all can say what y'all want to say, but through God, all things are possible.
Some motherfuckers just
No,
fucked up out here.
Dude just saying you can pray through schizophrenia, but and you God
If you
can
believe, if you got the faith of a mustard seed, you can.
Yeah, but
God can do anything, and He can cure you from schizophrenia.
If you have the
drug
faith of a
abuse,
mustard seed, you can move
and He
mountains,
can,
man.
and God, and He absolutely can, and you can with faith. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of stuff we can't speak of because we've never been addicted to stuff. We like stuff.
But we all have struggles that we went through. I know I did. I don't know about y'all, but I went through struggles.
Different from addiction and
but everybody has a struggle, though. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's struggle is different, but everybody has a struggle. Now you're trying to make one struggle more than another, but everybody has a struggle.
No. It is. One struggle is more. Each struggle is uniquely individual to a person and things like that. And the struggles aren't on the same level. Normal hardship is hardship. You know what I mean? Normal hardship is hardship, and some stuff is not normal.
Okay.
You just can't, like, some people. I like chocolate cake. I'm addicted. No, you're not addicted to chocolate cake like that person is addicted to heroin or crack. It's not the same. But through all things, Christ prosper.
But like you say, I can go deeper into it.
Man, I could. I just got the energy, but I'm pretty ready to close out now.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go deeper, and I probably should say this, and I probably shouldn't say this. Like, I know me and John, we didn't see each other for years, and then when we first ran into each other, he ain't saying nothing about it. I was in a mental hospital. Why? Because my brain was moving too fast. Like everything, I understand when I say they put me in class with 7th and 8th graders in 3rd grade. You're moving too fast. And it's tough to sit down like that with everything. When you have to sit in the class with people that's regular people that's messed up and stuff like that, like, man, you already comprehend everything. Like, everything. Like, we just can't blame it on the kids.
I'm not blaming on the kids. I'm just trying to get them the way out.
You can't just beat Peel until he sits down.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying.
Sometimes you gotta redirect the attention to these parents too, and realize, like, and it's cool, like you can be like, my kid's not like that, but the whole time the kid be going through some stuff, and you don't even want to accept it because you a parent. Like, no, it's okay. It's okay. Like, hey.
And God bless anybody who has a normal child. They can just sit their child down for 30 minutes, and child can read, and they can talk to them in a calm voice and say, "Hey, you just need to focus. This is reading." And if you can do that with your child, bless you. You know what I mean?
All right, guys, better get off here, man. So I coughed my lung out, man. Man, I'm gonna get with y'all, getting y'all butt so bad, man. But all right, guys. Anything y'all should say when we get out of here, man? Because I'm about.
Man, you can't ban the snowman, man. You can't.
What?
trying to
Oh man, that's funny.
I'm just
all right, guys, we finna sign out this thing, man. Catch y'all next week.
And